Welcome to Castrol Activ Champions, and our featured champion today was a slim, young, shy, vegetarian fast bowler who went on to take 551 international wickets and at a wonderful time in Indian cricket was part of a great group of people. We're talking about Javagal Srinath, who started his career with a hat-trick, by the way, in a Ranji Trophy game against Hyderabad. Anil Kumble made his debut in the same game. And the next thing you knew, he was in Australia with the Indian team. I saw him there. He was this slim bowler who came running in quickly, slanted the ball back in, only took 10 wickets in that series. But you knew that you were seeing something very rare in Indian cricket. You were seeing pace. I remember talking to Kiran More at that time and he said, my fingers are hurting and I'm loving it, because he said he'd only kept to medium paces all along. The tail end of Kapil Dev's career, Manoj Prabhakar, and then suddenly this young man who comes in and gets the ball slamming into the keeper's gloves. But it wasn't really till 1996 that Srinath came into his own, and it was important that he did, because Venkatesh Prasad had just arrived, still a young bowler, and around him were the likes of David Johnson and Dodda Ganesh and Paras Mambre and Abhi Kuruvilla and Debashish Mohanty and Harvinder Singh, all young players around them, and Srinath grew and as he looked after India's bowling.
Well, Srinath and me, we go a long way back. In fact, that time I had not even played for India. I had not even played first class. I think he had heard my name through someone. So we had one of the local tournaments in Bangalore, KSCA tournament. It was Srinath was playing that game for his company. So and I was representing MRF in that particular tournament. I managed to take 8 wickets in that match. Srinath came up to me and he's like, "Oh, so you are the bowler who I've been hearing about. You know, very impressed with the way you're going about it. Make sure that you don't miss it. You have to fast track everything and come to join the team."
All these young bowlers around him meant that Srinath had to carry the mantle of India's fast bowling, and he did that very well. Much like Castrol Activ Actibons, protect your bike engine, whether it's running or off. It's interesting though that some of Srinath's best bowling actually came in India. There's a reason for that. When India were travelling, you needed to play 3 seamers sometimes, and India rarely had a 3rd seamer. When the captain looked around, there was one face he was looking at when he wanted a fast bowler, and that was Srinath. Through that period, 96-97, India almost bowled Srinath into the dust. I remember him leaving the West Indies early in 97 with an injury. He had just bowled so much in South Africa. Probably his best test match came in this phase as well, when he took 13 wickets in that test match against Pakistan in Kolkata. 5 in the first, 8 in the second. He was really carrying India's bowling at the time. He was also batting a bit, by the way. There was a time when he was sent in as pinch hitter, remember? Played a few innings for India at number 3, got a half century as well. And then he got a few blows on his fingers, and he realized very quickly that his role in the side was more as a bowler, so he had to protect his fingers. His batting tended to die away as his bowling picked up. But it's Srinath the bowler that we're talking about, not Srinath the batsman as much.
Srinath ji had a funny side also to it. And funny thing with Srinath is, like, he would come, he would talk what he had to talk, and then he would just move away. So he would not wait for you to react or respond to it. He will just say things how he's saying it, what he wants to say it, and then just carry on.
By the time 2002 arrived, Srinath had taken a lot of wickets, but he was tired and he'd said he'd had enough. I remember doing a little interview with him at the time, and he said he was tired, he was finished. Then I remember a moment in Sri Lanka in 2002. Sourav Ganguly realized he needed the experience, now the guile of Javagal Srinath for the World Cup that was coming. He called him up and said, "I want you here in Sri Lanka. Just buy your ticket." Sourav Ganguly could do that in Indian cricket at the time. Javagal Srinath arrived in Sri Lanka, maybe rested for that game, and then played all the way through to the 2003 World Cup. He took 34 wickets in his last 18 one-day internationals, and that allowed him the kind of swan song that a player like Srinath deserved. later years, Javagal Srinath became an administrator. And he was very proud of his educational background. He loved his mathematics, he loved technology, and he could speak to you at length about all that he was doing. Him and Anil Kumble actually formed a wonderful combination. At the Karnataka State Cricket Association, they took cricket into the smaller towns, and it's no surprise that Karnataka had some of their best years soon after Srinath and Anil Kumble came in as administrators, and then of course he became a match referee. It didn't surprise me that Javagal Srinath became a good match referee, because it would be just like him to study a situation and then take a decision, much like he did with that rather unsavory Dinesh Chandimal episode. So there you are, Javagal Srinath, fast bowling giant, first Indian to really in that era come in and bowl quick, hit the wicket keeper's gloves, 550 international wickets. You look back now and say Javagal Srinath and you say he was a giant of his time. He's a very worthy entry into our hall of Castrol Activ Champions.